I have the honor of introducing a very distinguished leader in technology and innovation, and a UW Bioengineering alumnus, Steven Bathiche. Steven is the inventor of the Microsoft Surface, the revolutionary technology that transformed how we interact with computers. In addition to this remarkable achievement, he embodies the guiding values of our department, earning trust, embracing excellence, and fueling innovation in every aspect of his career. Steven's path to becoming a visionary in computer-human interactions includes his time here at UW, where he earned his master's degree in bioengineering, building on his electrical engineering foundation from Virginia Tech. Steven's work has always exemplified the interdisciplinary thinking we value so highly, from building biomimicking robots that follow pheromone trails to creating the Mothmobile, a project intended to aid in developing wheelchairs that could be controlled more easily for people with disabilities. Today, as a technical fellow and corporate vice president at Microsoft, Steven leads the Applied Sciences Group, an interdisciplinary team of scientists and research engineers that are reinventing how computers can help us achieve our impact. He has been the visionary behind, of course, many celebrated technologies and has transformed, again, how we interact with computers. And his work really also exemplifies the concept of our bioengineering department to remove barriers, reduce friction, and enable people to do more. His team is ushering in what he calls the agent era, where our devices will understand us, from our biology to physiology and psychology to our personal preferences, acting on our behalf in the context of our lives. With over 120 patents to his name and more than 2 decades of groundbreaking innovation at Microsoft, he represents profound impact. And at this time when access, inclusion, and public trust in science is facing growing pressure, Steven's journey offers both clarity and inspiration for what is possible. His insights on the evolution and revolution of computer-human interaction will undoubtedly resonate with all of you as you embark on your own journeys. Please join me in warmly welcoming Steven Bathiche to the podium.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. Oh, yes. Thank you, Dr. Imokwede. That was a very, very kind introduction. Graduates, faculty and distinguished guests, family and friends, it's so good to be back here. I'm so honored to be here with you and to congratulate you. "26 years ago, I was where you are today. I remember how I felt, the joy, the pride, the sense of infinite possibility and infinite doubt. But above all, I remember the overarching sense of euphoria at having overcome all the obstacles, the late night studying, the stress of exams, and all the work it took to get here. For me, it was a culmination of all the decisions that I had made up to that point in my life. And yet, the biggest decisions were ahead of me, as they are for you. The trajectory of your life will be shaped by a series of decisions, some big and some small. Amid uncertainty, facing decisions can feel stressful, even paralyzing. Yet each decision before you is a gift, a wonderful opportunity. So the challenge is, how do you make decisions you look back on with happiness rather than regret? The secret I learned is to develop what I call your constitution. A personal constitution is your philosophy and values. It's how you look at life. You already have one, everybody does. But not everyone consciously develops it or even listens to it. A constitution orients you to a guiding purpose for yourself. It comes from knowing what you believe in, what makes you different, and your vision of the world you want to help create. Your constitution is your compass, your reference point, the playbook by which you evaluate every decision you are faced with. When your decisions are true to your constitution, you can feel confident you are on the right path. Looking back, I can see my constitution was formed by mainly two things. First, listening to my heart. And second, finding and listening to good mentors. These are really two sides of the same coin. Listening to your heart is introspective. Listening to mentors brings in outside perspective. You need both. They work hand in hand. Listen to your heart. I know it sounds cliche, but it's essential. In our culture, and especially in the science and engineering disciplines, we spend so much time in our heads that we lose touch with our hearts. But your heart tells you what's deeply important to you, what comes naturally for you, what makes you happy. Listen to it. Using your head and heart together will give you a deeper sense of intuition about what's right. This will help you with life decisions, with relationships, with teamwork, and with quality of life. When your intellect and your heart are in agreement, you'll know you're making the right decision. And find mentors you can learn from. I never knew I needed a mentor until I found one, but it made all the difference. We find mentors in different ways. I found my first mentor by accident. Back in 1994 at Virginia Tech, I was a sophomore electrical engineer, and already my department had a little trouble knowing what to do with me. See, as a kid, I was deeply interested in robotics, but not the ordinary kind. I wanted to build robots inspired by biology. I was fascinated by how biological systems work, how creatures like ants, seemingly simple, are remarkably complex beneath the surface. The deeper I got into engineering and programming, the more I realized that our best engineering designs couldn't hold a candle to nature's elegance. I had an idea to build a swarm of small bots that mimicked a swarm of ants. You see, ants lay down pheromone tracks. It's their version of the internet to record, communicate, and show the way for other ants. Each ant follows a simple set of rules, yet this gives rise to a complex superorganism. Could my bots, mimicking an ant's simple rules, equally generate such sophisticated behaviors? I asked my counselor for help. He was the E department head. Pheromones, he said, pondering. He then pointed me to the chemistry department. The chemistry department was equally unsure what to do with me. They were not used to electrical engineers crossing the threshold, so they passed me along to a professor emeritus. Tucked away in an obscure corner, Dr. Raymond Desessie was a magical human. His office was lined with books from floor to ceiling. And when he spoke to you, he closed his eyes to focus on the words. He was a Renaissance man, mixing engineering, science, animals, and music. He had amazing and creative thoughts, often crossing the fringe. He took keen interest in students and had graduated more than 100 PhDs in his illustrious career. Over the next 3 years, in our many afternoon sessions, Dr. Desessie taught me lessons that became guiding principles in my career. Today, I'll share a few of them that became core pillars of my constitution and which I consider essential to whatever success I've had. One of the first things he taught me was to be interdisciplinary. See, Dr. Desessie opened my eyes to the reality that the most original ideas often live at the intersections of different fields. Inspired by this, I mixed electrical engineering with biology, neurobiology, physiology, psychology, and so forth. The more juxtaposed the field, the more unique the opportunity. He urged me to develop a unique combination of skills. Nature doesn't have departments, he pointed out, and neither should you. Those experiences shaped my worldview and led me to the field I love. It was this interdisciplinary outlook that made me attractive to a budding technology company in Redmond. It was on a whim that I applied to a Microsoft summer internship, and it was an incredible decision. A decision later I would recognize pivoted my entire path. The next year, Dr. Desessie taught me another lesson, to think for myself, and not just be someone else's pair of hands. In other words, don't settle for work where you have no say or creativity. Creative people are like hearts, he said. They go where they're appreciated. He taught me to seek environments that value and foster new ideas. That advice paid off when I faced a tough choice. In my junior year, I declined a returning Microsoft internship and secured what I thought was a dream job at NASA, writing code to control Space Shuttle's robotic arm. Sounded pretty cool. It was prestigious. But as the date drew near, something didn't sit quite right. It dawned on me that the NASA internship would be a situation where I'd just be writing code for a problem someone else had defined with little say. Basically, I'd be a pair of hands. With days to spare, I made a nervous phone call to my Microsoft recruiter asking if I could come back. By luck or fate, a position had just opened up in a cutting-edge group, and they took me in for the summer. I had listened both to my mentor and my heart, and making that decision turned out to be one of those small yet pivotal decisions. That summer at Microsoft, my boss, Mike Paul, handed me a broad mission. He said, 3D gaming is going to be big. Find a cool new way to control it. That was it. No script, just an open-ended challenge. And as a kid, I played my share of video games, and I remembered watching my friends play Super Mario Kart. And when they lean their bodies while they're using the controller trying to steer, well, that really didn't help. But I had an idea. What if the controller could actually sense that tilt? By summer's end, I had a working prototype of the first motion-sensing game controller. Not long after, that little invention became a real product, the Microsoft Sidewinder Freestyle Pro. It was unbelievably empowering and exhilarating to see that. Returning from my senior year at Virginia Tech, I had one more important lesson to learn from Dr. Desessie, and that's the value of asking the right question. It's logical, right? You can't expect to get the right answer if you're asking the wrong question. Dr. Desessie stressed the importance of having clarity about the problem you're trying to solve. How am I framing the problem? Have you stepped back and looked at it from a distance, from a high enough altitude, even from a different discipline? He taught me to focus on the root cause, not the symptoms. I learned that a well-formed question is halfway to the answer. My mentor was clear that the best place to learn that skill was in graduate school. So here again, I was faced with a big decision. Do I accept Microsoft's offer to return as an employee with a lucrative salary, or do I turn down a dream job for more years of ramen noodles and research labs? I picked ramen noodles. The stakes were high. The big decision I had faced to life at that point. Intuitively, I applied my constitution, helping me remember who I wanted to be. While not an easy decision, it was clear. And so in the end, I said no to Microsoft and went to graduate school at the University of Washington in bioengineering. Yeah. Here, I found a program that blended disciplines and allowed me to push the boundaries of knowledge. With the whole university at its playground, BioE enables students to build a curriculum and research plan uniquely tailored to their aspirations. Here, I could apply the lessons Dr. Desessie had imparted. BioE is a place where you can stand out by developing a unique combination of skills that help you find those cracks of opportunities between the fields. And with that perspective, helps you learn how to ask the right question at the right altitude and from the right field. In short, I had picked the right place. And guess what? So did you. And this brings me to the most important lesson Dr. Desessie ever taught me. Whether you'll be choosing a grad school or an employer next, don't pick the job. Pick the people and the environment first. You've worked hard to hone your knowledge and skill, but that's not enough. World-changing ideas blossom in a community of collaboration and creative freedom. So pick the manager, the teacher, or the mentor who can see your abilities. Pick the team that helps you fulfill a purpose you connect with, that give you the tools and environment to master your discipline, and the freedom to express your creativity. The people make the place. With the right team and environment, the work will take care of itself. I found that kind of environment here at BioE. But now, could I find it in a work setting? Or did I miss the boat when I turned down Microsoft the first time? I called up my former internship team, the department that had given me such freedom, and they began talking. Soon, they presented an opportunity. And not just any opportunity. I could define my own job. I was elated. But what on earth had inspired such faith in me? A recent grad, who am I? Looking back, I can see that the creative, quirky, self-directed qualities they valued in me were simply the outer fruits of my inner constitution. I accepted. stepping in a role that I shaped myself, guided by my constitution. And that set me up for success. Over the next several years, I invented the first laser tracking system used in input devices, the first mixed reality computer called the Surface Table, and from that work emerged the whole Surface line of products and eventually the new AI computers and experiences that we're developing today. Thank you. But my greatest accomplishment was not any of those, not any product or any invention. It was the team I formed, the Applied Sciences Group. The core principles of my constitution shaped a culture that could empower not just one person, but an entire group. As a result, we have a team that fosters creativity, giving people the freedom needed to master their disciplines. A team that helps each other ask the right questions, because juxtaposing diverse fields let us see the problems holistically. Since I founded the Applied Sciences Group 26 years ago, we have grown to 240 scientists and engineers with labs in 7 countries, spanning disciplines and fields from mechanical engineering to optics to machine learning. This culture has fueled our success, making us one of the top applied research teams in the industry. And this culture, which started from listening to my own compass and core values, has attracted extraordinary people, some here today, who have added to the culture and taught me lessons. Lastly, I've mentioned some accomplishments, but I've had plenty of failures too. Another mentor of mine who I met during his time at Microsoft was the late Gary Starkweather. He was the inventor of the laser printer. He said, if you want to succeed, fail more. It sounds counterintuitive, but think about it. The only way you'll invent anything new is by trying, stumbling, and trying again. But failure alone does not lead to ideas that challenge convention. He said you have to fail greatly with absurd ideas. It is only then that the idea has any merit. So today, as you embark on a new journey, dream big and daringly. Don't worry about finding the perfect path because it doesn't exist. But if you remain true to your inner compass, guided by your heart and wise mentors, you will create your own unique path. And when failure comes, embrace it. Your scars are simply waypoints to success. Keep going because that's how you'll reach your dream. Congratulations, graduates of 2025. May you find great mentors, hold fast to great principles, dream boldly, and always listen to that voice in your heart. Your runway is infinite, and the world is ready for everything you have to offer. Now go out there and make some amazing memories. Thank you and congratulations.
Thank you so much for those very, very encouraging words. I cannot wait to go and fail spectacularly. Hopefully not today.